Hey, what's up everyone? This is Tyson from Opulene. Wanted to shoot this video for you. This is going to be more on the topic of nutrition and lifestyle. I'm going to be out of the gym on this one. But I wanted to do this one for you guys because lately I've been thinking about what it was like when I was younger. Kind of the paradigm I had, what I thought was required to lose fat, build a better body, and just become more one with myself confidently. Got a branch there, almost hit anyway. And yeah, so I'm in my 20s now, and when I was younger, get some of that stuff. See, it's not personal. Come on. So with nutrition and being younger, I used to think that one of the paradigms and beliefs I had was that I used to think that I had to starve myself, extremely to have any kind of good results, to get that six pack, to make myself healthier, to lose body fat and be lighter and all that good stuff. I got into doing like calisthenics, bodyweight training, and as you know, when you're heavier, you are lifting more weight, and it's harder to do those movements that lighter guys just absolutely are masters at. With that being said, what I've been seeing lately, in my family, my friends, I've been seeing a lot of just unnecessary thinking involving different meals that just don't make sense for one's goals, food choices, food combinations, just really like out of the ordinary. I'm going to go ahead and kind of lay out something that you can take away from this video today, where you can set up your meals, think a little bit differently about nutrition. And first off, we're going to begin by I'm going to give you a principle that we all really need to understand, and that's the principle of macronutrients. And what are macros? You've all heard of hitting your macros, nailing your macros. Basically, it's just the three main sources of the food groups. So we eat food because we need all three sources of macronutrients. It's your proteins, your fats, carbohydrates. Now, we all know that protein's important for brain health, gaining strength, encouraging a strong, muscular, lean body. And as far as that is concerned, protein is important, but it's not as important as everybody thinks. You'll see a lot of high protein diets out there promoting, 200 grams of protein a day for the average 160-pound guy. And as far as that goes, it's just really unnecessary for a normal person just trying to be overall healthy, live an optimal, fit lifestyle. When it comes to the others, fats, carbohydrates, you see a lot of other people that are promoting, lower fat, lower carbohydrate dieting. And if you are any of the three, for these ways of eating, I challenge you to, open up your mindset a little bit, because when it comes to this, you need all three of them. And if any of them are, too high a percentage, too low of a percentage of your daily calorie intake, it's just going to cause a whole host of new problems that you're going to have to deal with, aside from figuring out this diet thing. So I want to make it easier for you. Just remember that you need all three of these. All three: proteins, carbs, fats. Now, I want to kind of give you a guideline of what you're going to want to go for as far as amounts. As far as protein goes, a good amount to start with is about 20 to 25% of your daily intake. I could go on a lot of reasons why, but one of the main reasons is that if you are eating too much protein or too little, too much is going to cause your kidneys to have to manage a lot of protein breakdown. Because mostly we get protein from animal sources, which are heavier foods: eggs, meat, dairy, things like that. Your body's going to work a lot to break those down. Too little protein is going to leave your muscles hungry and your strength in a struggle. You need protein in the balanced amount, 20 to 25% of your daily calorie intake. Moving forward is fats. Fats we want to be around 30 to 40%. I use a bigger variable because some people do better with more fats. Some people do better with less fats. Really just kind of depends on who you are, your unique circumstances. But for the overall population, about 35% fats is good. And then that leaves the rest with, 45% or 35% carbohydrates. Whatever's left over, with 20%, 25% protein, plus the fat intake, that's going to be 25% plus 35%, which will equal to about 60%. So that leaves 40% carbohydrates for a day's intake. Now, moving forward with that, you're probably wondering, like, what are all these things? As I alluded to earlier, proteins are your meats, eggs, dairy, really anything that has the essential amino acids. They're going to help you build lean muscle and burn fat. Moving forward, the fats, you're going to find those in your main three food groups that include oils, butters, and believe it or not, avocados. And avocados are a fruit that are fat dominant. They have a lot of fatty acids that are really good for hormonal optimization and many other health benefits avocados can promote. And last thing, we got carbohydrates. These are going to be your starchy foods that are going to really fuel your glucose metabolism. It's going to help you battle stress. And like I said, your mindset may fall under, low carbohydrate dieting, which is great. But if you're doing a lot of resistance training, if you're wanting to really keep your body in a happy state, low stress, anabolic, meaning that you're building the muscle that you want and you're keeping the fat off, then you're going to want to do a modest carbohydrate load, 40% of the day. Carbohydrates are going to include, from the food groups, potatoes, noodles, rice, any kind of grain product. And carbohydrates gets a bad rap because a lot of them have been modified. This is where you see GMOs and unsafe carbohydrates that just encourage a lot of fat gain and a lot of hormonal disrupting problems. So that's why you see a lot of people now that are going gluten-free. That's a big hype. But gluten is a wheat protein found in a lot of grain products that a lot of people just don't handle well. They got digestion problems. They've got a lot of different just overall downfalls of eating gluten. Many people have not been evolved to eat gluten. And I'm not really a gluten-free expert or anything, but I know that a lot of it is just, it's not that important if you don't have a gluten intolerance, but it's just the way it goes. And as far as the meals that you can go ahead and put together for this overall goal of eating a balanced diet upon all three of these, making your body an overall better system, making it more efficient in everything you do, I'm going to go ahead and give you some ideas now that pretty much I do and that I've seen a lot of my best clients follow. The food combinations and the meals. And one of them, if you go back to my earlier video of the tasty red meat dinner, that was tacos involving red meat, and non-GMO tortillas, and white rice. It's low in metals. And just overall good for you because the combination of those foods create a very, very good hormonal effect, and they stimulate muscle building, fat burning, and they keep your body feeling full. So it's really not like your body's not feeling like it's on a diet when I eat those kind of meals, especially that one. So one idea is the tacos. You can watch that video for like an in-depth view, but tacos are a great way. I love tacos personally. You can mix them with chicken, you can mix them with pork, you can even mix them with shrimp if you're into that kind of thing. 4 different main protein sources right there. You get a lot of burrito ideas. Let's go up the hill here. You can do a lot of burritos, which is like, eggs, sausage, breakfast burritos, things like that. You could even do beans for your burritos. But burritos and tacos, that's a great option, especially if you're on a budget. You can get some cheap non-GMO tortillas like the Mayos brand, and you can go ahead and make them even tastier if you put some kind of hot sauce on those. You can mix them with rice, beans for a good source of carbohydrates. Moving forward to a more traditional meal, you could do a slab of really good grass-fed steak. Basically grill it up. You could even bake it in the oven. Do a side of potatoes. And with your side of potatoes, you could do a myriad of different kinds. You can do sweet potatoes, you can do the purple potatoes, you can do the Yukon Golds, the non-GMO reds. Reds are good, they're smaller, but as long as you put the right amount on your plate, you're going to be feeling full. Potatoes are very good. They'll fill you up quick because they're very, very good at encouraging satiety in your body because of all the higher starch. Yes, they are higher on the glycemic index, but as long as you're eating your carbohydrates with protein, you're going to be mitigating the whole glycemic effect with that heavier protein. And lastly, we have our fats to fill in the meal. So you have your slab of meat, your side of potatoes, and with the fats, you can mix your potatoes in like butter. You could add an avocado on top of your meat. You could even, let's see, what else is fats? You got butter, oils, avocados. Take coconut butter and fry your potatoes in coconut oil. I do that a lot. For great recipes, I recommend a few different cookbooks. One would be the Kino Chef from Kinobody. Great cookbook that will give you a lot of great ideas. And I'll put a link in the description for you so you can find out more about that. But yeah, take a regular dinner and just be able to put these macronutrients where they need to go so that you're eating that balanced diet. And personally, for me, I'm a bigger guy. I do about 2 to 2.5 meals a day. Half meaning that I make a smaller meal for my third meal. And I'll do, like a big dinner, a smaller breakfast, and like a medium-sized lunch. And sometimes I only eat 2 meals a day. It just really depends. I do intermittent fasting, so I personally don't eat first thing in the morning. And I'll do more videos about that if you guys are into the education on intermittent fasting. A lot of great benefits from that, and it just makes dieting really easy, honestly. Easier. So there you go. You got your tacos, you got your traditional square 3-course meals on a plate. Another good one is you can do like oven baked casseroles. So you can really do this with like the same kind of foods. You can make a casserole involving like ground beef, some good vegetables from like a frozen pack from your store. Really easy, just put them in there. The oven will cook them with the meat and everything else. Also mix it with like a good oil. Stay away from vegetable oils because those have been shown to have canola oil, which is an oil you do not want to put in your body. I'll maybe do a video on that one later. But yeah, keep it simple. Basically, do any kind of combination you could think of. You could do casseroles. You could do the traditional meal approach on the plate. You could even do like a big burrito bowl, burritos, tacos, for your meats. Rotate between your favorite meats. Mine are chicken, pork, and grass-fed beef in the form of steaks and processed ground beef. And then for your fats, coconut oil, avocado oil, avocados in whole, butter, especially if it's grass-fed. I like Kerrygold. That's the brand we go to. Even some high-quality dairy, like some good sour cream, cream cheese. And then under your carbohydrates, stick with the different kinds of potatoes that you cook whole. And then go ahead and do the noodles if you're into different Asian dishes. I'd stay away from ramen noodles because I ate way too many of those when I was in college and on the go. And then Also, like rice. Rice is very good. You can do jasmine, basmati rice, any kind of like good rice from, like they have good rice from Thailand, things like that are low in metal, like I said, because a lot of people are getting too much iron when they're eating rice, especially if it's brown rice. It's conventional, and it's conventionally promoted to us. So yeah, I challenge you to see what you can combine with that. I hope this helped. Sorry if this was long and complex. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the video because it's getting kind of long here and I don't want to keep you all day. Next time you're in the kitchen, think about how you can combine these foods. And if you want me to do a video on something else more in depth, let me know. I'll be happy to help you out. And thank you for watching. Take care.